Hi and welcome back to our channel. I'm Jennifer and this is Kate, and today we are talking all things Saint Therese. Her feast day is coming right up on October 1st and she is definitely a favorite here.
She is a doctor of the church and famous for sharing her little way to heaven, which is doing small things with great love.
Which is a simple but brilliant strategy. So today we've rounded up all the books that we've read and liked about Saint Therese, and we're also going to share with you our Saint Therese to be read pile. We're trying to decide which book to read next about Saint Therese during the month of October, so maybe you can help us decide.
And we'll also be sharing our Saint Therese book wish list, books about her that we don't own, but we have our eye on and we'd like to get a copy of. So without any further ado, let's get into the video.
So first up, we have Saint Therese's autobiography, which is the story of a soul. This is really the classic work of Saint Therese. She wrote it when she was 24, just before she died of TB. And from what I understand, she only wrote it because her sister, who was also a nun, urged her to share her story with the whole world.
And in it, she outlines her plan or her little way to get to heaven. She said, "I can't do great and heroic things for Jesus, but I can do small things with great love."
Her personality really shines through in this book. So I would say that if you can only read one book about Saint Therese, read this one. It's a classic. We loved it. It's great for teens and adults.
But if you want a biography for younger children, then we recommend this one, The Little Flower, The Story of Saint Therese of the Child Jesus by Mary Fabian Windiet. So it's told in the first person from Therese's point of view, and is also very nicely illustrated as well. So this one would be good for any child or any adult, really. It's a classic.
If you'd like to do a Saint Therese intensive during the month of October, you could do a 30-day retreat with her using either one of these books. The first one is Simply Surrender, based on the little way of Therese. It's 30 days of meditations based on her writings and teachings.
So each day starts with a meditation, then it gives you a thought to think about throughout the day, and then you end each day with a prayer. So you really are going throughout the whole day with Saint Therese.
The thing to know before you go into this one, though, is that most of her writings have been paraphrased in this one to be more modern, but there are some direct quotes from her writings and quotes from other saints. And then at the end of each day, the prayer refrain that you say is taken from the very last poem she wrote before she died. So that's kind of cool.
But if you'd like a retreat with more of her original writings, then this one, 30 Days with Saint Therese, is a good option. It starts every day with a quote from her autobiography, then a Bible verse, a meditation, and then a prayer. So this one's also a great one. Our next two books are both inspired by Saint Therese, and they are Olivia and the Little Way and Olivia's Gift. So in the first book, Olivia is in 5th grade and she's having trouble fitting in at a new school. So her grandmother tells her about Saint Therese and about her little way. And through that, Olivia discovers that serving others can change everything.
In the next book, the sequel, Olivia's Gift, Olivia's a little older. She's in 7th grade, so middle school, on vacation at the beach, but nothing is going the way she thought it would. And because of that, she learns to lean more on God and trust in Him and trust in the intercession of Saint Therese. So it's a really sweet story for middle school. Both of them are great. We talked about them more in detail in a different video, and we'll have that linked below for you.
So the next book is one of our very, very favorite books, and it's Shower of Heavenly Roses. So if you haven't heard about Saint Therese and the roses before, she famously said before she died that she would spend her time in heaven doing good on earth, that she would let fall a shower of heavenly roses.
So there is a tradition in the church that if you pray a novena to Saint Therese and ask for her intercession, she will take your prayers right to God, and then if He is planning on answering your prayer request, she will send you a rose from heaven to let you know that all systems are go. So that could be a literal rose, or it could be a picture of a rose, or the smell of roses, just something to do with roses to let you know that help is definitely on the way.
So the book is filled with all sorts of stories of people who have prayed to Saint Therese, asked for her intercession, and received a heavenly rose in return. So these stories are fun. There are some that are absolutely amazing. And there's even one from the Olympic figure skater, Tara Lipinski, who has a great devotion to Saint Therese.
So this one is such a fun book to read, and just as a side note, we have prayed many a Saint Therese novena here at our house, and you might wonder, have you ever received a heavenly rose from Saint Therese? And the answer is yes, we have, on more than one occasion.
And we won't get into all of those stories here today. Maybe we'll do another video about those. Let us know down in the comments if that is something you're interested in.
And last, if you are a Catholic treasure box fan, several of the books have an ongoing storyline in them about Saint Therese.
They have some really sweet stories about her from when she was growing up. And the books are also very nicely illustrated. We're definitely treasure box fans here.
All right, now we're switching gears and we are going to show you 3 different books that are on our to be read pile about Saint Therese. And we're trying to decide which one of these that we want to read during the month of October.
So the first one is Shirt of Flames by Heather King. And in this one, the author spends an entire year reflecting on Saint Therese's life and applying the lessons she learned to her own life.
So that's one option. Option number 2 is Saint Benedict and Saint Therese, The Little Rule and the Little Way, which sounds very intriguing because in it, Father Dwight Longenecker takes the writings of Saint Therese and applies them to the rule of Saint Benedict.
So that sounds very interesting, and it also gets a lot of great reviews on Amazon, so we think that one has a lot of potential, and we like both Saint Benedict and Saint Therese, so what's not to love?
Win-win. And then our third option is I Believe in Love, which is another retreat style book, except this one is longer and it's written in chapter form, so you don't get a specific reading for every day, you just read the chapters.
And from looking at it, it seems like it's a very deep book. Like you might have to read just a little bit every day and then spend some quality time reflecting on it.
But it also gets very good reviews. So 3 options for October for Saint Therese. Which one should we pick?
Let us know down in the comments if you have read any of these and what your thoughts were. Help us decide which book we should read in October.
Now let's talk about the Saint Therese books that are on our wish list. And the first one is a new publication from 2021. It's called Therese of Lisieux, Living on Love. And it has over 150 color pictures of Therese and her life and her world, so it looks great.
There's also a lot of very interesting information and facts in the sidebars, so we would definitely love to get our hands on this one.
Also on our wish list, we are looking for a good picture book about Saint Therese, which amazingly enough, we do not have. The only one we have is this one, Saint Therese of the Child Jesus, which is beautiful and great, but it's not exactly, like the classic picture book that I think of when I think of picture book.
Now we did find this one on Amazon, The Little Flower, A Parable of Saint Therese of Lisieux, and this one looks really good, so if you have it and like it, let us know.
I only wish that Tommy DePaula had written a picture book about Saint Therese because that would have been amazing and awesome, but he did not, so that's life.
So there you have it. Those are some of our Saint Therese favorites, any of which would be great for the month of October.
So in the comments, weigh in. What is your opinion about these books? Let us know which one you think that we should read in October.
So we hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.